without any further ado, I am very excited to introduce the Porkpies. I'm sure Steve will tell you what that's all about, but a little bit of history. When I first met Steve 33 years ago, this is the band he had just formed. So I would just go and I would sit there and I would listen and fall deeply and madly in love with this wonderful artist. So this takes me way back, and I hope it takes you back also. Enjoy the Porkpies.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're the Porkpies. Thank you. So wonderful to see you all. In just a moment, we're going to bring out the star of our show. He's our leader. He's a great piano player, plays several instruments, great singer. He's a composer. He's my oldest friend in the world. And he, along with his beautiful wife, whom you just met, Bea, are the proprietors here at Studio5. So it's a special evening. We're so glad you're here. You're here on a great night. Let's bring him out right now. Mr. Steve Rashid. How about it for Steve? Steve Rashid. Steve Rashid.
If you ever plan to motor west, take the highway, take my way, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it goes to St. Louis and Joplin, Missouri. Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip? When you make that California trip, Get your kicks on Route 66. Go ahead, Paul. St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip when you make that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Thank you. Thank you. I know the applause is just for the suit and the fact that it still fits. The truth, actually, there is a story behind the suit. By the way, thank you so much for coming. This is really a treat for me. These are some of my oldest pals in the world. As Bea was mentioning, this was the band that I had just formed when she and I started dating. And two of these fellows were there from the beginning. Don Stiernberg on the guitar and Kevin Connelley on the drums. Over there, how about it for those guys? They were there from the downbeat. We had two other guys that were there that were part of the first iteration, because I didn't know these other two guys at the time. Miles Hahn was the original bass player. We've got some great stories about Miles. And John Adair was the original saxophone player. And then they both eventually moved to Los Angeles and pursued music careers there. And I met Jim Cox on bass, by the way. Jim Cox on bass. How about for Jim? Through Don. And Paul, I don't even remember how I met you.
I just walked into the club one night.
That's probably it. That's how it mostly happens. Paul Mertens on the saxophones for you this evening. But after the original two, the bass player and saxophone player left town, then these guys were in the next iteration of the Porkpies. And the band was together for a decade or maybe a little bit more, and we played a lot of clubs in Chicago. And so we haven't been together in this context. I mentioned this in my newsletter. I think it's got to be 15 years, this particular group. I mean, we're all good friends, and we see each other some more frequently than others, but we're all still pals. And but it's great to be back together. Yeah, thank you. I'll tell you a story about this suit in a minute, but this is one of the reasons that this evening happened was because our dear friend, I got to give props where they're due, our good friend Victoria Zielinski, I mentioned at some point that this was Nat King Cole's centennial, 2019 is. And Victoria, when I mentioned that in the presence of our dear friend Victoria, and she said, well, you know, the Porkpies used to do a lot of Nat King Cole material. I went, oh, that's right, we did. And that's kind of how this band was formed. I really liked the music of that early Nat King Cole trio stuff, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to put a band together that did that music, but didn't try to do it campy or try to make like a cabaret act out of it. We just wanted to play the music in kind of that era, using the vocabulary of the time, because it was such great music. And so we did. And so we just kind of by default ended up doing a lot of Nat Cole tunes, and we did some by some other artists as well. But since the focus was Nat Cole, and since it's his centennial, we thought, well, why not? Why not put this band back together, and especially mine some of the old Nat Cole tunes that we used to do. And that first one, of course, was one that he made famous, and so was this one. This one wasn't quite as famous as the other, but it is. In fact, I'm on the wrong tune myself. That would have been disastrous. There we go. Another Nat Cole. But this is another one that he made very popular, and this is the pork pie version. About there, Kevin? You're just too marvelous for words, like glorious, glamorous, that old standby amorous. You're just too wonderful. I never find the words that tell enough, spell enough. I mean, they just aren't swell enough. You're much too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. So I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. You're much too very, very to ever be in Webster's dictionary. So I'm borrowing a love song from the birds to tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. To tell you that you're marvelous, too marvelous for words. It's funny when these by the way are the original books we used 30 some years ago, and we were rehearsing the other night, and Kevin said, "This looks like parchment." And it kind of does. And it was weird how the muscle memory kind of flipped back in. It was like, oh yeah, that's how we did this. And then others I don't even remember ever doing. But this was number 3 in the book, so I know we did it. So if you're following along, number 3. I hope the rest of the band is. Let's see. All right, let's just do it. Another Nat Cole tune, shockingly. About, 3. Maybe I talk too much. Maybe I lost my touch. I guess I don't know what's cooking. So I just can't see for looking. Other boys have their chicks. 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I don't seem to get a booking. So I just can't see for looking. It's kind of crazy, like a daisy. I'm up that well-known tree. Poor me, I'm sitting hoping, horoscoping. Won't some sister take a chance with me? I've been around the town. Everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no gals for hooking. I just can't see for looking. Go Kinda crazy, like a daisy, up that well-known tree. Poor me, I'm sitting hoping, horoscoping. Won't some sister take a chance with me? I've been around the town. Everyone brings me down. I give up hope, I'm just a dope. There ain't no gals for hooking. Just can't see for looking. Whoa, just can't see for looking. Always loved that song, and I don't know why we never did it. Oh, this suit. So, I don't know if you saw any. I don't even know if the pictures are up over there, but there's a picture of the Porkpies from the original iteration, which is the original lineup, and I'm wearing this suit. The suit is actually, by the way, I'm much older than I look. I'm 95 years old. And my parents had me late in life, and that part is actually true. This was the suit that my dad wore when he married my mom in 1939. And so it's been in the family all these years. And so there's a photo up there of the original pork pies, and my parents' wedding photos over there too. And by the way, this table right there, Jasmine set up for Mom and Dad. So isn't that sweet? Thank you, Jasmine. They're drinks. Oh wow, they're drinks. Shouldn't have said that. This tune is not a Nat Cole tune. In fact, there were several artists that we kind of focused on with the Pork Pies. One, of course, was Nat Cole, but I was really crazy about the music of Mose Allison, and if you've seen me play here before, you've no doubt heard me do some Mose Allison tunes. So we thought I'd do a couple of those tonight. This one actually was not one we did with the Pork Pies, but I love doing it so much I thought it'd be fun to do it. So Mose Allison was another fellow who was a contemporary of Nat Cole's, but a little younger, I would assume. Do anybody know? Don? Jim? Band historians? Any guess, Don? Mose Allison younger than? Yeah, would have to be, because he just died and he was in his 80s, and that would have been probably closer to 100. Yeah, 100. Yo, it's a centennial, right? Yes, then. Thank you, sir. What does centennial mean, actually? Okay.
Well, they both played the piano, at least.
Thanks, Don. That was my confusion there, as I wasn't. Yeah, so anyway, this is Mose Allison tune. See you watching me just like a hawk. I don't mind the way you talk, but when you touch me, something's got to give. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. My diamond ring and my money too. Tomorrow night they could belong to you. The girls move me at their will. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. Well, I may lay 100 on a bet this time. Tomorrow night I can't cover your dime. Next week I could be over the hill. I'm just trying to tell you people how I feel. You see me rocking as I pass you by. Don't talk about me, 'cause I could be high. Just forgive me, if you will. I live the life I love, and I love the life I live. bet this time. Tomorrow night I can't cover your dime. Next week I could be over the hill. I'm just trying to tell you people how I feel. You see me rocking as I pass you by. Don't talk about me 'cause I could be high. Just forgive me if you will. I live the life I love and I love the life I live. Thank you. I always make a rule that never play the harmonica solo right before I have to start singing again. I just broke that rule. Oh, you read my mind. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine Tomlinson, ladies and gentlemen, the world's greatest bartender. It's gin. That's good. That was fabulous. In addition to covering material from the era, I also thought it would be kind of fun to try to write some songs in the style of the era. And to the best of my recollection, Your Honor, I wrote 4 tunes, only 2 of which still remain. 2 of them I found the charts for, and I have no idea what the words were, what the melodies were. I have no idea. Which is all for the better, because you're about to hear one of them. You'll understand why some of these were lost forever. But this one, as I mentioned, this is the band I put together right when Bea and I started dating, and this was an attempt to woo my wife. And without going into a long story, well, what the heck? It's my show. What are you going to do? Bea was here in Chicago, where she lived in New York, but she was here in Chicago working, and we met and fell in love. And then, right after that, she took a job in Florida. Like, what? What are you doing that for? So she went to Florida for 4 months on this job, and so we traveled back and forth a couple times to visit each other. And this was over like December. She went off, and she was going to be done in April. So we weren't actually going to be able to be together again until April. So it was tough. So one of my trips down there, I actually had written this song, and I took the Porkpies into the studio. I was working at a recording studio at the time. I took them in the studio, and we recorded this song, and so I went down there with a recording of this song and gave it to her. So that's what this. So, and you will catch some of the lyrical references will now make a little more sense. This little up. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Crazy about you. Well, I'm crazy about you. Well, I'm crazy about you, baby. I'm a man and you're a lady, ain't but one thing to do. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Well, I'm crazy about you, baby. Ask me now or ask me later, it will always be true. When I'm walking down your street, the sidewalk hardly touch my feet. I knock on your door, baby, you come out. Makes me wanna jump and shout, I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you, baby. I'm a man and you're a lady, ain't but one thing to do. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you, baby. Ask me now or ask me later, it will always be true. So don't put me off, let's make a date. I'll pick you up about 8:30. I'll kiss your lips, baby, you kiss mine. We'll be deep in love by 8:45. I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Well, I'm crazy about you, baby. I'm a man and you're a lady, ain't but one thing to do. Go, Paul. Well, I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you, baby. I'm a man and you're a lady. Ain't but one thing to do. Yes, I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you, baby. Ask me now or ask me later. It will always be true. Let's steal away, baby, all alone. I'll love you till the cows come home. We'll be hiding away in our love and kindness. Baby, those cows will never find us. I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Yes, I'm crazy about you, baby. I'm a man and you're a lady. Ain't but one thing to do. Yes, I'm crazy about you. Well, I'm crazy about you. Well, I love to watch you dancing, but let's get to some romancing, cause I'm crazy about you. Please love me, baby, if you're able. Put my cards right on the table. I'll stand here waiting till next April, cause I'm, tell it, fellas.
Crazy about you.
Good Lord. Oh, my. And after that, she married me. Oh, my God. I grew up in a little town in Wisconsin, and there was our next door neighbors had my parents, I think probably about their best friends were our next door neighbors, and Irv and Lorraine Johnson. And every time I hear this song, I think about Mrs. Johnson, and you'll know why. 2, 3. I just found joy. I'm as happy as a baby boy with another brand new choo-choo toy. When I'm with my sweet Lorraine, a pair of eyes that are brighter than the summer skies. When you see them, you will realize why I love my sweet Lorraine. Now when it's raining, I don't miss the sun, for it's in my sweetie smile. Just to think that I'm that lucky one who will lead her down the aisle. Now each night I pray that no one will steal her heart away. Just can't wait until that lucky day when I marry sweet Lorraine. Go ahead, Don. When it's raining, I don't miss the sun, for it's in my sweetie smile. Just to think that I'm that lucky one who will lead her down the aisle. Now each night I pray that no one will steal her heart away. Just can't wait till that lucky day when I marry sweet Lorraine. When I marry sweet Lorraine. When I marry sweet Lorraine. When I marry sweet Thank you. That's for you, Mrs. Johnson. Oh, yeah, this one. It's a fun one. It's fun actually going back through this book and rediscovering some tunes that I had completely forgotten about. This being one of them. At the same time that we were trying to, recreate in some relatively faithful fashion the music from that era, we were all interested in music from other eras as well, of course. But one person who was a contemporary of all those guys, Nat Cole certainly, was Clifford Brown, who had a tragically short life. Yeah, a great bebop trumpet player, died, had only 4 years of recorded history. Started recording when he was 22 and he died when he was 26. Tragically in a car accident. You hear all these tragic stories about the tragic lives of jazz musicians, succumbing to all kinds of bad habits and whatever. And this was just a car accident. Took Clifford Brown from us. And there was a record that I discovered back around the time that we had this band that was called Clifford Brown, The Beginning and the End. And somebody had actually recorded Clifford Brown. There was just a tape recorder that somebody had in the club the last night that Clifford played, and made a recording of that. It was not a particularly good quality recording, but it did capture his last night before he drove off in a rainstorm. And so they put together this album, because it wasn't a full album's worth of stuff, and it was called The Beginning and the End, and it was a recording of Clifford Brown from that night and the first two, the A and the B side from a 45 that he cut when he was 22. And that cut, one of the cuts from the time when he was 22, he was just in the band for, Chris Powell and the Blue Flames, I think, was the name of the band. A band I wouldn't ever have heard of otherwise, but Clifford Brown happened to be the trumpet player in that band. It was not a jazz band even, but they did this song, and I was so crazy about this tune that I thought, well, we should do this. So I wrote a chart on this many, many years ago, and so this is kind of our version of that. Okay. It's a fun one called Ida Red. About here? One, two. Ida Red, dressed in blue. I got a gal named Ida too. Ida Red, early I leave. I come back late. If I make this loop, well, I'll be straight. Ida Red, I'm so glad. I'm about to shout. Well, I got my load. Now I'm backing out. If I be nice and kind, why can't you plumb the line? Ida Red. You play fair, don't turn rat. Trade my Ford for Skitch-tail cat. Ida Red, ride you round from town to town. If you don't be good, gal, I'll let you down. Ida Red. That ain't yours, leave it alone. You catch on to us, and up the road I'm gone. I'm right, telling you late, but I'm telling you straight. You can't catch no fish, you ain't got no bait. I'm red. What was that line? At least you kept going. Is that the line? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Everyone said they hardly noticed.
That's right. That's right. Everyone told me they hardly noticed. Okay. Back to another Mose Allison tune. This is one from, gosh, I learned it in my childhood. Mose often had kind of unsavory characters in his songs, although he himself was a sweet, loving man, but he had some rough characters in his tunes. This actually was an old Jimmy Rogers blues tune, not that Jimmy Rogers, a different Jimmy Rogers, and then he did his version of it. So this is kind of my version of Moses' version, called "That's All Right." Isn't that right? Yeah, okay. Just correct me whenever I misstep here, just correct me. 1, 2, 3. You told me, baby, once upon a time, if I would be yours, you would be mine, but that's all right. I know you don't love me no more, but that's all right. But it seemed like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. You told me, baby, our love was strong. Woke up one morning, all your fine words are gone, but that's all right. I know you got yourself another boy, but that's all right. But it seemed like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. I was loving you, just didn't understand. And now you're trying to fool another man, but that's all right. I know you're talking about me, but that's all right. But it seemed like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Yeah, it seemed like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. Yeah, it seemed like every now and then I wonder who's loving you tonight. How about if Don sings one? Don Stiernberg to the microphone.
Really?
I would, thinking about this gig, I was thinking about just moments on stage with the Porkpies, and one of the funniest moments I can recall is one of Don's comments, which was we played at this place called the Raccoon Club, which is on Franklin and Chicago. It was kind of a subterranean club. It was very kind of Art Deco-y, and it was around the time that there was a harmonic convergence where all the planets were in alignment. And it was all over the news, a harmonic convergence. What's going to happen, and what's going to, are we going to feel it? Is it something weird? And Don, we started talking about it from the stage that there was going to be this harmonic convergence and what was going to happen. And Don said, do you remember what you said, Don?
It was better be funny, Steve.
Don said about the harmonic convergence, I wonder if anyone's told Howard Levy and Corky Siegel. I said, no, Don, not a harmonica convention. It was funny.
We could have called Cork and Howard from the stage right then.
Probably could
on that night, except there were no cell phones back then.
That's right. That's right. That's one thing I noticed about the suit. There's no pocket for a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Don,
Thank
when
you.
we used to
Thank you, Steve.
when we used to play, you used to play a song called Idaho that you used to announce was from the album Don Plays the 50 States, but.
Kind of a travel album.
But tonight you're going to sing something else for us. What is this, Don? Tell us about it.
Well, Steve, I got a little thing that I used to sing and play back years ago when I was playing on the Count Basie band. And, well, okay, I didn't play in his band. We just jammed together a lot. And, truth be told, this is a beautiful song of love, ladies and gentlemen, and it's originally in the French, and thank goodness, at least speaking for myself, I mean, it's also been translated to the English, which I will attempt. And the original of this is called La Mer. So you know already what song it is, right? That means the sea, and the song is Beyond the Sea. You might remember Bobby Darin doing this one. And then my hero George Benson did kind of a cover of Bobby Darin's version. And I have to say, before we get it underway, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very difficult song to sing. In fact, well, it just is. And also, it's been, I don't know how to put this except When we sang it all those years ago, it was before our voices changed. So, given the difficulty of all this and you know, my nervousness about performing in front of such a beautiful audience, if it's okay, I'd like to have my applause right now.
As before, and happy we will be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. Stiernberg. All right. Yeah. Okay, we've got one more song for you to set, and then we're going to take a little break and then come back and play more music for you. I don't know if anyone mentioned it, but this, and I'm not making a big deal of it, this is my birthday weekend, and so thank you. It's not a big one, and I've had way too many of those, so we're not making a big deal of it. But we are going to, after the show, am I speaking out of turn here, Bea? Do we have? No, seriously? Yeah. It's okay with me. Okay, we've got a cake and we'll have very thin slices, so after the show we're gonna reopen the bar and invite you to stick around if you'd like to order another drink. That's fine, but mostly just hang out and socialize and have some cake. But this is the last tune of this set. Short break, come back, another set, and then a little bit of socializing. But here we go. This is we kind of adopted this as kind of the theme song of the Porkpies. It was arguably Nat Cole's most famous tune, one that he wrote, actually. And so we're going to wrap it up with this quick little one, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Took a monkey for a ride in the air. The monkey thought that everything was on the square. The buzzer tried to throw the monkey off his back, but the monkey settled back and said, "Now listen, Jack, straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use of jiving? Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." Well, the monkey told the buzzer, "You're choking me. Release you hold, and I will set you free." The buzzer looked the monkey right dead in the eye, said, "Your story's so touching, but it sounds just like a lie. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top." Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Fly right.
Steve Rashid, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Rashid.
Did anyone try a vodka gimlet? All right, all right. My mom's recipe. I'm not kidding you. Remind me later, one-on-one, to tell you a story about my mom and a vodka gimlet.
Hey, Steve. Steve, we also got a request to explain the name, the pork pies.
Oh, the pork pies. This is a pork pie hat. And it was popularized. Actually, Lester Young, famous saxophone player, wore a pork pie hat famously, and it was worn by it was a popular hat in the 40s, and so that's why. And I think I actually found, I can't remember what the chronological order was. I think I may have found the hat and then named the band. I think that's the way it worked. Sometimes when we played, by the way, thanks for sticking around. Sometimes when we played, we'd play for people who were dancing. So, and I forgot to mention that first set. If anyone feels like dancing, let me not stop you. So get on up. But this is a dance center, for God's sake.
They can dance all the way across over here.
Yeah. And this might get you started. Reminder to the fellows about the key change. Yeah, okay, I had to do my math. All right. One, two, 1, 2, 3. Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You only live it once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. Come on, get together, let those good times roll. Don't sit there mumbling, talking prayers. You want to have a ball, you got to go out and spend some cash at Studio5. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. Come on, get together, let those good times roll. Go ahead, Don. So let those good times roll. Let the good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. Come on, get together, let those good times roll. I don't care if you're young or old. Come on, get together, let those good times roll. That, you may know, is not a Nat Cole tune. That was our kind of version of Ray Charles's version of that song. This one, however, is one that he did. This has, for those of you aficionados, you will know that this has more lyrics than we are going to do, but I was trying to be faithful to my own history. These are the only lyrics I learned. About there? You can join us if you like. Duke Ellington famously said, "You never push it, you just let it fall." Well, not in your glass. The hell? Another bride, another June, another sunny honeymoon, another season, another reason to make whoopee. A lot of shoes, a lot of rice. The groom is nervous, he answers twice. Ain't it killing that he's so willing to make whoopee? Picture a little love nest down where the roses cling. Picture that same sweet love nest. See what a year can bring. He's washing dishes, baby clothes. He's so ambitious, he even sews. So don't forget, folks, that's what you get, folks, for making whoopee. Go ahead, Paul. Picture a little love nest down where the roses cling. Picture that same sweet love nest. See what a year can bring. He's washing dishes, baby clothes. He's so ambitious, he even sews. So don't forget, folks, that's what you get, folks, for making whoopee. Yeah, don't forget, folks, that's what you get, folks, for making whoopee. Thank you.
Steve,
Yes, sir.
couple number one over here dancing.
All right, couple
Let's
number
give it
one.
up.
Couple number one. I knew they were in the audience. Okay, here's one that Nat Cole didn't do. Most did not. Did I don't think Nat did this one. Most didn't do it. I don't know. We just liked it. So you're stuck with it. 1, 2. What a difference a day made. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. Yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, it's heaven when you find romance in your menu. What a difference a day made, and that difference is you. Difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. The skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, it's heaven when you find romance in your menu. What a difference a day made, and that difference is you. What a difference a day made, and that difference is you. What a difference a day made, and that difference is you. Now we're back to, thank you. Now we're back to another Mose tune. I mean, another Nat tune. I have written that this starts with guitar and bass. Fancy that. Is that right? All right, let's do it that way. It's in my handwriting, so I suppose. As a matter of fact. About here.
One, two.
Okay. Or that way. What makes me treat you the way that I do? Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing in this world so good for a girl so sweet and true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, big Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Bought your fur coat for Christmas, diamond ring, big Cadillac car, baby, and everything. Love make me treat you the way that I do. Baby, ain't I good to you? You know, I've always liked that song because it's such an odd song. It's like it's not about I love you. It's not. It's about why am I such a great guy? I don't know. I do all these wonderful. I'm really a good guy. Why is that? Oh yeah. Back to a Mose tune. Well, actually, it's a Hank Williams tune, but I learned it from Mose Allison. Quick little number. You're gonna know it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? What say, baby? Don't mean maybe. Bet we'd find a brand new recipe. Got a hot rod Ford and $10 bill. Know a spot right over the hill. You just pretend that living is free. Why don't you come home with me? Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? What say, baby? Don't mean maybe. Bet we'd find a brand new recipe. Got a hot rod Ford and a $10 bill. Do anything you said I will. Don't intend to leave with a dime. Now, baby, we wasting time. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking? We could be cooking. How's about cooking something up with me? Oh, this one. This is, by the way, how about it for this band? It's Kevin Connelley on the drums, Jim Cox on the bass, John Stiernberg on the guitar, Paul Mertens on the saxophones. Yeah. This is one of the first songs that I learned. I figured out how to play on the piano when I kind of like learned that I could hear something and then play it. Well, not one of that. Well, somewhere in the first several years, and it was a song that was, I don't even know who wrote it, but I heard it on a Mose Allison record and I loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. Probably since I was like 16 or 17 years old. Well, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You're a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. Life without you was an incomplete dream. You're my only sweet dream come true. My search was such a blind one. My heart was all at sea. I never thought I'd find one so perfect for me. You're a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. You're a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. Life without you was an incomplete dream. You're my only sweet dream come true. My search was such a blind one. My heart was all at sea. I never thought I'd find one so perfect for me. You are a sweetheart, if there ever was one. If there ever was one, it's you. If there ever was one, it's you. A sweet one. Okay, this one. Remember I told you how I wrote a few songs in the style of? Well, this one actually was caused or inspired by a conversation I had with Kevin Connelley, our drummer, on the telephone all these many years ago. We were talking on the phone, and I said something typically that made absolutely no sense. And Kevin said to me, "Steve, you have lost my mind." And I thought, that is a great song right there. And that became this. Go ahead, Kevin. could you be so unkind? I might as well be deaf and blind. 'Cause baby, you have lost my mind. Where'd you put my common sense? How about my self-confidence? These ain't just random accidents. I bet you know just where they went. Nuclear science, trigonometry. Well, Albert Einstein, he had nothing on me, baby. Could look at the clouds and forecast the weather. And now I can't put two and two together. Baby, what's got into you? I'm standing here without a clue. Are you prepared to pay the cost to replace my mind which you have lost? Christopher Columbus, Houdini too. I'm better than them, baby, and you know it's true. But I've been searching all over town, and now I can't even find the lost and found. Baby, what's got into you? Standing here without a clue. Are you prepared to pay the cost to replace my mind which you have lost? To replace my mind which you have lost. To replace my mind. Do you know where my brain goes? Baby, 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 baby. To replace my mind, which you have lost. Yikes. Be careful what you say to me on the phone. Okay. This is where my worlds collide. I learned this from a Mose Allison record. By the way, when I was a kid and I used to learn all these songs off Mose Allison records, I thought he wrote them all. Of course, he wrote some of them, but certainly not all of them. This is one that predates him, I'm sure. But I thought that he wrote it, and I thought that he was the only person to ever do it. Nat King Cole also recorded this song. Well, there you go. So here's something that they both did, and now all three of us do it. Baby, we two can't get along, 'cause I'm never right and you're never wrong. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there at no particular time. Baby, it just ain't common sense, mixing up love and arguments. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there at no particular time. I'm all fed up on stormy weather. I'm going where it's June. Here's hoping that I see you never, 'cause if I do, it will be too soon. I'm all fed up on your advice. Missing you will be paradise. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there at no particular time. Go, Paul. I'm hard to find. You'll wish you could see before you, as well as you can see behind. I'm all fed up on your advice. Missing you will be paradise. So meet me at no special place, and I'll be there. I will be there. I will be there at no particular time. Well, this brings us to the end of our evening together, ladies and gentlemen. Really? Oh, well. We could do two more. Let's do this one. Let's do Unchain My Heart. This comes from a Ray Charles songbook, one that I always liked. We used to do a lot. It's funny, as Don was talking about our voices changing. Oh boy, there's several of them like that tonight. This one I was happy we kept in the same key. But boy, this has been fun, and I want to just remind you who these fellows are. That's Kevin Connelley back there on the drums, inspiration for the last song. And Mr. Jim Cox on the bass. Good pal Don Stiernberg on the guitar there. And of course, Paul Mertens on the saxophones. How about Paul? Thank you. And please do stick around afterwards. We're going to socialize, hang out a little bit, and then maybe I'll come back and play another tune or two after we open the bar. So, but for now, we're going to wrap up with this one. This is Unchain My Heart. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Unchain my heart, baby, let me be. Unchain my heart, you don't care about me. You got me sewn up like a pillowcase, 'cause you let my love go to waste. So unchain my heart, please set me free. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, fella tell me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart, please set me free. I'm under your spell, like a man in a trance, but I know not well that I don't stand a chance. Whoa, unchain my heart, let me go my way. Unchain my heart, you worry me night and day. Why lead me through a life of misery? You don't care a bag of beans for me. So unchain my heart, please set me free. Don. Spell like a man in a trance, but I know not well, but I don't stand a chance. Whoa, unchain my heart, let me go my way. Unchain my heart, you worry me night and day. Why lead me through a life of misery? You don't care a bag of beans for me. So unchain my heart, please set me free. Yeah, unchain my heart, please set me free. Whoa, unchain my heart, please set me free. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Steve Rashid and the Porkpies.